by the right of the council, by the will of the Force. Welcome into the world, galaxy, famous, universal, I'm way off here, galaxy famous Jedi Talk podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Tom Okri. Thank you very much for joining. You are into the best Star Wars podcast to ever exist. The Halcyon said so. But let me introduce the rest of the council. They did.
They did.
They did. Sandra's
the best
listener.
podcast.
Star Wars.
Best podcast on the holonet.
Yeah. Getting that DJ. That's louder than I thought. To my left on the council is Samantha from another Bantha who spoiled something for me on the Batu Bounty Hunter game. I'm kidding. I'm just giving you shit, Evan. Evan T. Boucher. Evan, how the hell are you?
Hello there. I mean, it's only fair because I kept Rise spoiler-free and the Halcyon spoiler-free for,
That's
for
fair.
how many
It's
months?
true.
Several, like 9
So,
months. I
yeah.
avoided the shit out of your
I
posts.
can't believe you avoided Rise spoilers for 9 months.
I would have, too.
Proud of that.
I would
definitely
have. I would have just not. If I had to, but I'm so glad I lived here then.
Yeah,
Mhm.
same.
I get it. I get it. You guys had the leisure to go back into the parks before I did.
Yep, and get up at 6 a.m. for boarding groups.
Good
and-
Lord. I was so prepped to do that. I was having like nightmares leading up to that trip.
Don't
I
miss-
fucking
don't
hate boarding
miss those
groups so
days.
much, dude. I hate them
There's
so
people
much.
starting to come around on it now. They're like, no, I like it. I'm like, you
You're
don't
out of
remember
your
those
fucking
bad
mind.
days, do
It's
you?
called
Like,
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
It is. It's a bad move.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
Real quick, I hate he just jumps in before I get a chance to introduce him.
I-
He's a passionate
I don't-
I had to
individual.
say something about
Yeah,
that.
I don't
He's
blame him.
passionate. He's cigaring it up. He just got off of a boat somehow in between episodes. It's been a few days, guys. It's been
I'm
a
off a
long
boat.
week. So
I thought it was a ship. It was a yacht.
It was a ship, a yacht, a
Yeah.
super yacht.
Yeah.
He was on the reality show Below Deck.
Deadliest catch.
Deadliest sketch.
Close.
There you go. Close. Brad Hughes. Brad, how the hell are you?
I'm good. I thought you were going to introduce me as Muttley. I'm very upset. But what can you do?
I can't,
two,
but I
take
mean
two.
that's a Kyle Casantino level joke.
It's not wrong.
It's true.
It's still not wrong.
Hey, can I just make a quick comment here before we get going?
Please.
Let your brother know I'm coming after him.
What did he do now?
Don't you worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Austin
Do you know what
Boucher.
he did?
No, I have no idea.
What did he do?
I'm coming for your ass.
I'm sure it was funny, whatever it was.
All right, he made a comment that I pulled back on the tortilla slap game. That's fine.
I did see that. Yeah.
I didn't do it intentionally, but I looked at the video and it appeared that I did. So I put the challenge out there to one Austin Boucher that it's you and me next time.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm coming for you. I'm gonna fucking train like you've never. He's a former personal trainer,
You're just
buddy.
gonna go to the gym and just slap out like
Yeah,
punching
I'm gonna
bag.
s-
No,
Oh
dude,
my
what,
God.
What you need to do is you need to start taking Muay Thai classes and learn how to rotate your hips like that when you're
Oh no.
and just
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah, I stopped taking my bipolar meds. I'm kidding.
He's still on them. He's kidding.
Yeah, it's on.
He didn't stop.
Hey, you know what though?
Don't you
Maybe if you
worry,
bruise,
Austin.
if you bruise his beautiful face hard enough, I might become the better looking Boucher.
Oh,
Maybe.
Don't you
Maybe
worry.
it's close.
Maybe his Abercrombie modeling contract will get
It's
suspended.
gonna be a tough one, but I'll
Oh
get
my
it
gosh.
done.
But,
Okay,
uh,
back to
by
our
then
top
this-
10 edition episode.
This thing will be like 4 years out of date by then. This little fad of the tortilla slap. So it'll be fun to do this then and be like, "What is this?"
Tom
again?
will fly up to Indiana.
He
I will.
On your
I will
way
start
to Chicago,
running.
You might
Tortillas in hand.
Yeah,
like,
I will grab tortillas from every
Get
state
stir-
that I run through, Evan.
Could you
get
imagine-
sturdier tortillas. Those things were paper.
that's
They-
all tortillas.
Okay.
Dude, I
Fold
was
them.
hitting the shit out of Kyle.
Yeah, you were. I was.
And then
doing the
Brad
same.
hit the shit out of you. It
Yeah,
was
I
great.
was. I was just there to laugh
Yeah,
because I was
yeah.
like, "Slap." Who
Could you
cares?
imagine Tom booking a ticket and showing up to TSA with just one, like
Yes,
no,
I can.
no
a
carry-ons,
backpack full of tortillas.
no backpack,
No.
just,
Like, sir-
just
one-
one pack of tortillas.
They're like, "Sir, you don't need to go through security. You just have tortillas. Like
you're
you're
like,
good.
are you sure?
You sure?"
Like, yeah, okay. And they're like, wait, should we check your tortillas?
You're like, "I could use this as a weapon of mass destruction. You never know."
tortilla boy.
Yeah.
If Trump were president, I'd get sent to the back and like checked and stuff.
They'd slap
Like,
you
he's-
with
he's
the
got
tortillas.
tortillas.
Yeah.
He's
He's a
got
Mexican.
tortillas.
He's got the tortillas.
It's a white man with tortillas.
That's true.
All right, let's dive into this.
All right,
what are we
top
doing?
10 Star Wars Disney Plus shows that the council wants. I'm excited for this one.
I think there's gonna be some crossover here.
There might be, but I
There's
tried
gonna
to.
be a few.
There, I actually thought of a few shows, and then I thought to myself, Brad's 1,000% going to have this on his list, so I deferred from thinking about a show.
Same. I put one of mine that I know is going to be one of yours as an honorable mention.
Okay,
So I'll
that's
let
fair.
you talk about it.
Oh,
I've got 3 honorable mentions.
Okay, I've got two.
did you want? Remember, you guys wanted my top 10 Disney animated films.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Yes,
I
yeah.
got that real quick.
Okay, what
quick
you got?
hitter. I didn't number them, but I can just look at them real quick. Okay. And these are all non-Pixar, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
and I'm pretty sure they're all technically Walt Disney animated, so if I'm wrong, my bad.
I'll yell at you.
Okay, A Goofy Movie, Wreck-It Ralph,
Nice.
Tangled, Atlantis, The Lost Empire, Beauty and the Beast, Aristocats, Mary Poppins, Hercules,
Mary Poppins doesn't count. It's
Nope.
not animated.
Doesn't?
It's not
It
animated.
has animated
It ha-
parts,
oh,
but
come on.
as
It's
a
not
whole,
an animated
it's not.
film. It's what Disney's like. They even call it Disney's like Crown
All
Gem
right,
live action.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Take her out of there. I'll have to find another one.
Stupid British bitch.
I said Moana was 2, Aladdin was 1.
So
Nice.
what's another one you could put
So
in Mary
just
Poppins'
slap
place?
in 3 Caballeros instead.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah, I would put 3 Caballeros.
Okay.
Because
Like
that
that
was
type
one of
of-
those that was on mine, and we were
Mhm.
like, well, there's some live action, but it's mostly animated.
It counts as in their quote Disney canon. It is an animated film.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the inverse Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Where Mary Poppins is like 90% live action.
I do love Mary Poppins though. That movie's so
course.
fucking
Who
awesome.
doesn't?
I love it.
I love it.
Not Mary Poppins Returns.
I can't. I tried to watch it on a plane. I was 15 minutes in. I dipped out. Can't do it. I don't think it's.
That
I-
falls
I
under
sat
I
through
like it. I don't love it, but I like it.
I sat through it in Chicago in like a pretty cool theater on the North City. That was the best part of the movie.
The best Mary Poppins movie though isn't Mary Poppins. It's Finding Mr. or Saving Mr. Banks.
Sa-
That is
Yes.
such a good fucking.
I
movie.
love it.
Did you watch the documentary I told you to watch yet?
Not yet, no.
You gotta fucking watch it,
I
man.
still haven't either. If
God
it's-
damn it, both
yeah.
of you.
ILM came out, and that took up my documentary
damn
space
it.
for like the decade.
This
so
coming
now
from
it's
a man who it took a year and a half to watch the Snyder Cut just to rip on it.
like, ooh.
Yeah,
But
but it's warranted.
Disney
No,
documentaries
it's fine.
are
I'm
way
just
more
giving you shit for how
important
long
than
it
Snyder
took you
cuts.
to finish it.
Yeah, it took a
Yeah.
while.
Disney documentaries up here, Snyder cuts down here.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey,
You haven't even seen
how you
it.
gonna feel when you're watching your Marvel movies,
I'm not.
Evan?
I haven't
Hold on.
watched a
No,
Marvel
no,
property in-
yeah, you're gonna watch one and then you're gonna hear this.
Yeah, I won't be watching that one. So
X-Men's the
X-Men
shit.
are coming. X-Men are the shit.
All right, who else? Does anyone else have?
I have
any?
one honorable
I got
mention.
2.
I've got 3.
Okay, I'll
So go 1,
do
2,
you want-
3.
No, with 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
I don't know what I would call this, but I just put it Top Gun and Star Wars as a show.
Rogue Squadron.
I want. Yeah, but I don't think Rogue Squadron is going to be that. I want this to
Beach
literally.
volleyball and Scarif.
Yeah, I literally want like the campiness of it, like to this, and this got me thinking. We were talking in the last episode about like variety. Like I think it would be cool to have a different take on it. Like Squadrons is going to be probably the closest thing we're going to get, but I want it as a show. I want them to do, like give me like the inspiration for this was Squadrons. Because there was like some story elements there. I'm like, this could be really cool if you focus more on the story elements. They didn't because it wasn't that kind of game.
Yeah.
But I want that. The next one I want is kind of in line with this too, but America's Star Wars story. Because Antok Merrick's Blue Leader, how did he get to that position? He, after rewatching Rogue One, like, how did he get that high up in the Republic?
It's a good, yeah,
in the
yeah.
Rebellion?
That's a good story.
It's all mustache game. It's all
It's all
it is.
mustache. His character's cool. He looks cool. His costume's the shit. His X-Wing's dope.
Hey, mustache, what's up?
And then my last honorable mention is I want them to do a remake of the Droids animated series.
Oh, good call.
Adding in BB-8, and you could do a lot. You could do a lot.
Dio.
with
Ooh.
You could probably put some
BD1?
life to Dio, BD1.
Ooh.
Because Dio sucks.
that. I love Dio.
Yeah.
You don't like Dio?
I like the
Not
design.
really.
But he
Like-
doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do it. Hello. No, thank you.
Sad.
No, thank you.
Happy.
He was like an abused animal.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it, but
I get that. But
that's
they didn't
all,
do anything
like,
with it.
Yeah.
There was really no redemption story.
No.
Well, he doesn't need a redemption.
I
He's
love
not,
him.
No,
he's
he's
not
just-
evil.
I love him.
It just, and that's fair. He's cute, but he just seems
it's-
shoved.
I
It's
love
more
the
the
design
design.
of it.
Yeah, it's more
but
the
he's not
design.
used
Okay,
at all.
okay, that's fair.
They
love.
could take him out of the movie and nothing.
That's
Yeah,
probably
it
why
doesn't
I don't
change.
like
It
him.
doesn't
Yeah.
change anything.
Yeah.
But I just love the design. I love that it's JJ's voice too. Like it's
Same.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think a remake of the Droid show would be really cool.
I do
For
like
sure.
that idea, yeah.
I didn't think about that at all.
Neither did I. Good call.
That's my last honorable mention.
That's a good honorable mention.
Nice.
Thank you. I should put it on my fucking list then.
Yeah, right? What the fuck? Let's go.
Evan, you got 2.
One of mine is what the hell were the Knights of Ren doing before Episode 9? Because it's like they talk about him in Force Awakens.
Oh, yeah.
Books.
And then, well, yeah, but like for the people that don't read the comics, like they're gonna be like, oh, I guess they're in Episode 9 now. Like, what did they do?
OnlyFans?
Did you
Like-
see the comic book I have
Only
displayed over
Only
there?
Rens.
Did you see my comic I have over there? It got graded at
Oh,
9.2.
nice.
The first
Nice.
issue
I have
of
that same one. I just don't have it in a case like that. So I need to
that
get
was CGC. It cost me like $80 to get that thing
Good
graded.
Christ.
it. Dang.
They're
but,
not cheap.
But that comic is gonna be worth $80 in like a year.
It's already that in that condition. It's worth more than that.
See, like, so that was a good investment.
Mhm.
So yeah. But that'd be a
yeah.
good one. And then this is a good segue for Tom because my honorable mention is Cal Kestis because I knew he was going to be on your list, so I didn't want to put it in my list.
Cal Kestis. How predictable.
That was it? Just Cal?
I don't want to say any more about it because I know you're going to go on and on about it.
Not necessarily.
I
I
think
don't
it's
have
happening.
Too much. Oh yeah,
True.
that's happening.
There's a few that I was like,
Go,
I'm
go,
gonna
go
put
on.
this here because it's
You just
probably
put Cal?
happening, but
What do you
Like a
want to
show?
see?
You just
What do you
yeah,
want to
what do you
see
wanna
from the
see?
Cal show?
yeah, just let me see whatever his story leaves off in Survivor.
Okay.
Just give us that continuation. So
Would you ever want to see him?
I want the gap in between Survivor and this.
that's true. Is it
Yeah,
5-year
the 5
gap?
After
years.
we see, after
Yeah.
we see
I
what
forgot
happens.
it was a 5-year gap.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
After we see what happens, I'd like to kind of fill
That
in
would
those
be
gaps.
nice.
Yeah, I forgot it was 5 years. So
You
yeah,
know there's
give
going to
me
be a
that
comic
one.
that comes in for
Dude,
this, right?
Cal
100%.
Kestis comic?
They've already had them. Didn't
I
they? Didn't
know.
they do comics already?
Fallen Order ones about
Yeah.
Oh,
Seer
that's right.
and-
That's right. It
Yeah,
was
but
the
like
Seer
a
and,
Cal-centric one?
yeah.
That'd be cool.
That's going to happen.
Yeah.
I would, and that could fill in the 5-year gap. I'd be fine with that. But I think
Yeah.
I like to do smaller
Eno
stories.
Cordova, that's his name.
Who?
He was about Seer and
Eno
Eno Cordova.
Cordova.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You read those, right?
I have them. I have yours. I started it, forgot about it, and I have to plow through them.
They're good.
Yeah.
They're interesting. They weren't bad. It wasn't anything groundbreaking, but it was
Yeah,
it was cool. It
I
gave a good backstory for the characters.
Yeah, I
you
know
meet
it
in the game.
provides a nice link, so I just gotta hunker down and
they're
blast
cool.
through it.
But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. I had something to say, but I forgot what it was.
That's right.
Who cares?
I have my honorable mention real quick, and let me give a shout out to this individual's honorable mention. Where the fuck did it go? Because I want this individual to have a show. I want a Sandro's Kids show where him and his band tour the galaxy.
And sing
I'd
awful
love
songs.
Nope.
With terrible
No,
messages.
this will be Evan. This will be the theme song.
Awful theme songs.
Worst
With terrible
again.
messages.
I said again.
One more time.
No,
Come
we're
on.
good. You heard it. Yeah.
Everybody together
That'd
now.
be the theme. I don't know. Wouldn't
Propaganda.
he be a fun, just kind of like kids character to
surprised
kind of
they
like
haven't
fly
done-
around and just
Yeah.
play and
Like on Star Wars Kids on YouTube
Yeah,
or
it'd be a
something.
cool way to just.
I'm just shocked that they didn't do more of this leading up to the Halcyon. Like,
Yeah. Or you
it's a new thing.
Oh.
Like, you need to have
he
this
even could
marketing
have been in the Lego
like,
Halcyon performing with Weird Al or something.
Where did I
like,
see?
they
I
could've
saw
tied it
the
in.
best commercial for the Halcyon ever.
the new one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
I can't
saw
remember
it-
where I saw it.
They debuted it at Celebration. I was talking
Yeah,
to
it
my
has,
friend who is the ambassador.
I saw it before
and he was
a movie.
like, for a movie?
In the theater?
Yeah. What the hell did I just see?
It was just the commercials before the movie.
I want to see it on a big screen. What the
Yeah,
heck?
it was sick. That's why
Dang.
Courtney and I looked at each other and were like, "This is
I
amazing
wish there was
commercial."
a movie coming out.
the one
I
that
cared
shows like
about,
the
but-
stormtroopers.
Yeah, everything,
and
Like
yeah.
10
Kylo Ren
stormtroopers
Yeah,
and
this was
Kylo
before-
on the atrium floor. So I was like,
Before DC League of Super Pets, take your kids to it.
Really?
It's fucking hilarious.
Is it good? Okay.
I bet it's hilarious.
hysterical.
It's got
Sweet.
Kevin Hart and The Rock.
Yes,
Like, it's got to be funny.
Really, it's. This is why DC is so good at animation like this. It's like a good story and it's fucking funny.
Talking
Sweet.
about having diversity in films, DC
Oh,
has
God.
it more than Marvel.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
By far.
if he's going to
They do.
compare
Yeah.
that. Like, come on, man.
He won't.
No.
Because, I
he's
mean,
wrong.
he is really just looking at the movies, though. He's not looking at animated comic books,
Yeah.
video games.
He doesn't even know any of that stuff exists.
Because
Exactly.
video games, DC's way up here and Marvel's just like limping.
Oh, because they
Marvel's
have
not
like
even close.
two
No.
terrible video games.
Guardians
awful.
and the
Oh,
Avengers one.
the Avengers one was so fucking bad.
Yeah.
It could have had so much.
It was great.
potential.
The story with Kamala Khan leading up to everything, and then whenever you get to play Iron Man, it's just the same thing over and over again.
Eh.
I stopped. But anyway, we're getting off beaten path. Who wants to go first? Number 10, gentlemen.
Well, I did the most honorable mentions, so I guess we'll just stick to that. We'll
Sure.
go 3, 2, 1.
Let's
All right.
go do it.
My number 10, inspired by Rogue One, Guardians of the Wills. I want
Yes.
a series about them. You could do it like an
Cool.
anthology,
Yeah.
maybe, but surrounding the Guardians of the Wills. I think because that's what that's about as Star Wars can get. To the point that the original treatment we saw this in Light and Magic was called Guardians of the. It was like Luke Starkiller and the Guardians of the or something. It was some
Yeah.
long ass title, and then it got shortened down to Star Wars.
The
but-
Journal of the Wills.
Journal of
wasn't
the
it?
Wills. Yeah, that's right. But like seeing people like Cheer anyway, who because they say it in Rogue One that they were the Guardians of the Jedi Temple. The only place we've seen that was like the Halcyon comic for some reason. I think it's what it was. There was a comic book that showed Chirrut in Imwe and they're protecting
Yes.
Kyra. I think it was the Halcyon comic.
Might have been. I mean, we find out that the Sajas are Guardians of the Will.
Yeah.
So
On
like
the
you
Halcyon,
could tie
yeah.
all that stuff in, and there's just a lot of potential of a cool story there, especially told in a TV format. I think it'd be cool.
Do you remember how awesome that moment was when we found out she was a Guardian of the Will?
we were like, what?
It was
Just
just
hearing it secondhand was
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
That was
It's
something
cool, man.
I probably never would have found that out.
I
'cause
want to talk
never
to them
interact
more.
with them.
I want to talk to them more next time I go. I want to find out everything they
I'm
have.
going
I think we
too.
found out a good amount.
I think we did.
I'm going to too, but I'll play into the aspect of like, yeah, I'm with the First Order, but like I'm not
I don't know
evil.
when I'm going back.
So
to
like,
Halcyon. There's
can you
so
help me
much
find
going
my
on.
way? So I'm going to kind of do.
I'm getting worried about Celebration because I don't know if they're gonna do panels the same way because they didn't do media the same way, and that kind of seems to me like they're revamping everything. I'm still going as far as I know.
If
but
Courtney and I don't end up going to London, I think I'll do the Halcyon for my birthday, actually.
that's kind of what I want to. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'd really go to the Halcyon or go to Celebration. That's how much fun the Halcyon is.
Man,
It's a good point.
I got
I
made
don't know,
fun of
man.
for all these points months ago. Interesting.
What?
I did. I'm mocked him.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I
Did I? If I did, I'm sorry because I get it.
No, different reasons though. You don't want to travel. I still want to go.
No,
And
travel,
also,
just not
also
to there.
our point is if our podcast can't get on, it's just like that kind of takes a little bit out of it.
Yeah,
Fair.
and
You
if
know.
we can't go do the panels and stuff,
Right.
it takes my fun from Celebration.
Now, right now, I'm still going to London because I want to go to London.
I do too.
Yeah.
But it'd be really hard to go to London during Celebration and not go to Celebration.
Yeah, that's fair.
It would
I
hard
get
to
it.
break my fucking heart.
But if I stay at the hotel that like Hayden Christensen is, and then I just like bump
Yeah.
into him on the bar, and I'm
That
just like,
happens.
Annie.
that
That'd be
happens, man.
crazy.
That happens. But Guards of the Will, I think, which would be a really interesting series.
Mhm.
There's a lot you could do with that.
Do you bring Chirrut and Baze back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not Baze met him on
they're all dead.
Jeddah, right? Well, this would be a prequel.
Okay,
Yeah.
then yes.
I don't. I'd like you could. I mean, I don't know. I
But you
don't know
don't
their
have to.
backstory. You don't have to, but I like his character. I feel like he's the only character in that movie that I feel like didn't get enough screen time.
Base.
Yeah, because he's a cool design.
Mhm.
I love his character, the way he like protects Chirrut and loves him. There's a backstory there. I want to know what it is.
Yeah.
So yes, bring Baze back.
Okay.
Cool.
Evan, number 10.
Bring Baze back.
Hashtag bring Base
The
back.
BBB.
BBB. Bring Base back, bitch. 4 Bs.
Don't have anything super specific, but something in the High Republic time period that's Jedi centric. Because I know we're,
Crossover.
No
I
High
know-
Republic for me.
whoa.
Interesting.
I know we're
Yeah,
getting
no,
Acolyte, which is
excellent.
at the end of the High Republic, and I'm happy that it's dark side. But like, I would love to
Yay,
see
Star Trek.
this peak of the Jedi in the High Republic. So nothing super specific, just something in the High Republic time with the Jedi at their best. And like, of course, you got to get Marchion Ro involved, but mainly the Jedi. I want to see like
Live action or animated?
live action. All of mine are going to be live action.
So are
For sure.
mine for the most part. Yeah.
Some of mine are. Some of mine aren't. Some I could see doing either way.
That's what she said.
What's your number 10?
My number 10 is entitled The Legacy of Fett. A much older Omega forges a path to find her brother Boba. Bad Batch members stick with her out, but eventually succumb to age. They die along the way, or just die on Cologne. I want to see Omega kind of
That'd be cool.
forge a path to find Boba. But spoiler alert, she finds him and he's dead already.
Omega, the Fett Legacy.
Sure, yeah. Omega, the Fett Legacy. The
Omega,
Legacy of
a
Fett.
Star Wars
But
story.
that's like
No,
that's what Star Wars is though.
the book of Omega.
Everyone has this lineage in this path and their family, but
Yeah.
most of the time they get a found family, which is better than the family they thought they wanted. So that'd be that kind of idea.
I think the best story you could possibly tell here is older Omega, like we're talking about your age, closer to us, and closer to late 20s, 30s, and the rest of the Bad Batch old. Like they are struggling, but they're with her. They're sticking it out. And you see how much more advanced and more pure she is from like a cloning aspect, and the rest of them are just kind of dying off because they're mistakes, essentially. They're genetic, mistakes. So they're all dying off, and then she eventually makes it to find Boba. She gets to Jabba's palace, but finds out from Fennec Shand or something because she's going to live forever.
It's just that droid. That droid comes up
Yeah,
and is like,
yeah.
Master Fett
Yeah,
has passed
and then she
away."
finds out that he's dead. So it's like a kind of somber lesson learning type of like action packed show that's just kind of like, well, shit.
Story is too, like, you don't always need your family. Sometimes
Yeah.
the friends you make along
Exactly.
the way are enough.
Yep. And then Omega ends up being more sad that
And
she
she walks off
loses.
a football field and puts one fist
Yeah.
up in the air
Yeah.
as don't you forget about me,
She
please.
rides off on a bantha.
Yeah, she does ride off on a bantha, and she says,
good. That's a good one.
"What's your number 9?"
That's a good one. My number 9 is, I'm sure this is crossover, Adventures on Batu.
Oh yeah,
I have Batu, but not like that.
This is something that I want, like a lot of mine are, and I think it's probably because I'm watching American Horror Story right now. They're anthologies, which
yeah.
self-contained stories you can pick up wherever you want. But I want like a day in the life of each of the people who are like the shop owners, and so
Yep.
you get to know the characters behind the creature stall and everybody who's on that makes Batu alive. You get to see day in life with them. You get to see what their houses look like, the different cities on Batu. Like I would really like that. I think it'd be really cool. Doc Ondar one. I mean, anyone who's important to Batu.
Let me just
Yeah.
get my number 9 out of the way because it's incredibly similar.
Okay,
But it's called Tales from Takadana, and it's people who visit Maz Kanata's castle.
love it.
Doing the same thing. The
Love it.
exact
Get
same
Cookie
thing.
involved in both of them because
Mhm.
Cookie,
Cookie
was
was-
Exactly,
the cook
yeah.
at the castle.
Yeah, that'd be a good backstory. You could bring Maskanata into it. Like, there's so much you could do with that lore that
Yeah.
I'm just surprised they haven't. Like, if I'm Disney and I spend that much money, you got to get everything out of it. I mean, you've developed all this stuff. You have
It's
the
only
character
3
designs.
years. I mean, we'll give them time.
I know, but this should have been stuff that came out with it. Like,
The comics should have been this, the Galaxy's
Yeah.
Edge comics.
Yeah.
Instead, they were like, You know, this one time where Han brought us this thing from, it's like, okay, but I want to know about Batu. I don't want to know about Han Solo.
Yeah,
Like,
that's my issue with the comics. Is
Yeah.
they always set up a really interesting story, and then they deviate every single fucking
Yeah.
time.
it's
the
like
comic
30
is
years
like-
ago. It's like, what?
They
but-
flew in 30 parsecs away from Batu.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want adjacent. I want
Even
Batu.
the Halcyon does this, where it's like
Yeah, the
Halcyon
comics
Legacy.
do that too. They're like, yeah, there's this one story 50 years ago. But it's
They're
like, no, give
They're
me
on the
now.
ship as it's getting raided, and they're like, "This reminds me of the one time." And you're like,
Yeah.
"Fuck off!" I
Lego
don't-
is changing this for us.
Yes, Lego did it
Yes.
better than the
They really
comics
did.
And
Yeah.
the last Halcyon Legacy has come out. I don't have it yet. I'm still too
I only
behind.
have 3. Yeah, I need 4 and 5.
Yeah,
If I find
definitely
4
have
and
3.
5, I'll grab them for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
same
pay
here.
you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I buy them from online, and they get here within like 2 days for shipping.
nice.
So if you guys want them, I'll order them all
Oh,
tonight.
of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need 4 and 5?
Yeah, I'll Venmo you
5,
tonight.
4, 4,
whatever it
4 and
is.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get them tonight.
Evan, what's your 9?
Number 9, give me a Hux versus Hux kind of story.
Nice.
How
His
Hux rose
father.
to power and killed his
Yeah.
father. And I don't want straight adaptations. I feel like a lot of mine have, like, you could just adapt the book or whatever, but like, I don't want just straight adaptations.
Well, that book is only like a minute of it. Like there has to be
Yeah.
a backstory.
you
to
can
all
give me the scene of them killing his father, but then like give me everything that led up to that.
A B story would be them now in the Empire, and
Yeah.
the B story would be him as a kid and like looking up to his dad. Then realize his
Exactly.
dad's kind of a piece of shit. But like
Exactly.
the best way to make a good living is to do the Empire. Blah 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 blah.
And
blah.
it just shows how Hux is super competitive. So in episode 9, which we all liked his turn anyway, but it'll give more backstory to, he's just super competitive. He wants Kylo to lose so he can rise above.
I know people said they saw that coming. I didn't
I
see
did
it
not
coming
see that
because
coming. You remember my face. Like,
yeah, I don't remember thinking that was going to happen.
No.
What?
I thought they were going to kill off Poe. Like I thought
Oh.
I thought it was the end. I mean,
all the pictures were one lone X-Wing versus 85 Star Destroyers. So it's like, Poe's dead.
yeah.
But-
But
But yeah, my face was
good one.
this Hux thing makes no sense. It's crazy. And then he
Nope.
explains why, and I'm like, oh, this makes sense. I like it.
he hates Kylo, man.
Yeah. So I'm
Oh,
like, I
well,
get
yeah.
it.
He tried to kill him in Last Jedi. Remember, he was taking
He
his
did.
Yeah, he's
blaster
gonna
out.
pull his blaster out. Yeah.
All right, so you did your number 9
Yeah, for me.
already.
So it's your 8.
You go back to my
Mhm.
8. Okay. My number 8, and this is very vague, and it's just like my other one, kind of, but a Star Wars anthology. Just give me insignificant, quote unquote, characters to the universe.
Breaking news: Miss LeBeth liked another one of our photos.
Nice. What's up,
Halcyon famous.
Nice.
She's the best.
She's the best. But I just want like I think it'd be cool to like a Coruscant episode and like this other moisture farmer on Tatooine, and just like these little small stories that would just
Yeah.
world build. I don't think they would ever do it because it is so like it is an IP whereas you're in Star Wars, but I think you could get some really interesting characters out of this,
You could.
and it would be fucking awesome just to have these like short. I mean, how cool would it be to have like just a 30-minute episode of one character and it's just something that
Yeah.
they're doing. Like I love
like
that
that
idea.
shit.
I love
like
it.
that shit.
I
Marvel
love it.
tried that. Was it one takes or what was it called?
Yeah, I think they're called one takes. They were like bonus features on DVDs or
basically,
something, right?
but they were canon. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same idea, but more than like 5 minutes. Do like a
I want
30-minute
episode of like,
Yeah.
and you could pick any time period,
Yep.
any planet, any city. Like it's literally infinite of what you can do.
Yeah.
I
And-
can't abide episode where you see some guy lose all his shit, like, and how that plays out. Like, there's so many things you can do.
Then you see him begging on the streets of Coruscant.
A rebel on Hoth. I mean, like seeing Darth Vader and Palpatine come in and like fucking kill all his
Yeah.
friends. Like, there's so much you
That's
can do.
what
with
Lost-
this
Gary
thing.
the Stormtrooper.
Ah, shit! I think I gave away one of mine. Another one of mine.
That's what like
Yeah, I
the
did.
book
Oops.
Lost Stars does so well, where it like shows you all these normal people in like situations and stuff. It's connected to the larger timeline of the Death Star blows this up, but it's just like random farmer over here having his life and he sees what happens.
Yeah, I love
and then
it.
you could even gauge fan reaction, and if people latch on to this one character, it'd be like, we're doing more of this guy.
Yeah. Well, one of the episodes I thought you could do is somebody who like is like a. Well, they kind of touch on this in the Battlefront 2 storyline where like her mom did all the art, the propaganda art, but like
Yeah.
seeing someone who like believes in a cause and then seeing them slowly go like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
this? Like, this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
Like or an Imperial officer the same way. Like, there's so much you could do with it. It's infinite. Like, it's almost like
Yeah,
a
it
cheat
is.
code because it's like there's so much you can do. All right, what's your number
8. Evan 8.
Number 8, we're gonna get some of it in Tales of the Jedi, but I want live action, full on like 8 to 10 episode series of Dooku and Rayo and Qui-Gon, just in their early days. What's going on with them? Like, why does Rayo kind of deviate and go on his own path and kind of leave the Jedi Order unofficially? And then why does Dooku officially leave the Jedi Order? And how does that impact younger Qui-Gon? How does he get to where he is in Phantom Menace because of this Dooku Rail situation?
Speaking of Qui-Gon, in the book Brotherhood, did you guys know that he turned down a seat on the council to train Obi-Wan, or is that a revelation in the book?
No, it's in Master and Apprentice.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't remember if that was
like the core of that book.
I can't remember if that was a new thing or something that I had. But I was like, oh, that's cool. I like
Obi-Wan
that
feels
idea.
bad
Very
about it. He's
Qui-Gon.
like, you picked me over the council? Like, what are
Got
you
him
doing?
killed.
Because he's fucking the man. He's the
Yeah.
greatest Jedi of all time.
Yeah, because he knows the council sucks. He's like, I'm not part of that. They
He doesn't
suck.
want to be part of the problem.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be like Mace Windu, which Tom
He's
hates.
definitely a libertarian.
You're bringing me around to that, though. The more I think
Thank
about it,
you.
I'm like, dang, Windu, like, what are you doing?
He's a jerk.
Mace
Yeah.
is
But he's right.
authoritarian.
That's the problem.
He
is
is
he's
right, but he's
Mace
going
is the
about
authoritarian
it, like,
right.
way wrong. But yeah, the
Qui-Gon's
council
the
was
middle
way off.
libertarian. He's the...
I love Qui-Gon. He's the man. I saw that thing you were talking about today. It looks like it's a cork board for pens.
Oh, okay.
The back of it has like that corky material.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
It was
okay.
just weird.
It's weird.
to see. It was like, is
And
this a fucking mouse
It's like a
pad?
quote from
yeah.
him, and then it shows like his lightsabers. It looks like somebody made it on
Your
Etsy.
focus determines your reality. It does look like it.
like
it
an Etsy
didn't
thing.
look like it's Disney
No.
product, and like I'm
Not at
like
all.
Brad's not gonna like this.
No, I almost bought it just because it has his sabers
Yeah.
on and it's Qui-Gon. But I'm like,
Right.
what the fuck am I going to do with this? I'm going to pay $13 for a thing I'm just going to like
Yeah.
stick on the wall here. I don't need another thing on the wall here.
No.
I think you need another wall before you need things on the wall.
Holly was like, we can when we buy a house or move into a bigger place, you can just move all stuff inside. I'm like, you know how much shit's out here. She has no clue. She came out here a few weeks ago. She's like, God, you have a lot of figures.
You're gonna
and
need
I'm like,
a bedroom just for this stuff.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think what
That's
I'll
how
do
my
is
house
I'll make
too, though. We're gonna need a room just for stuff.
yeah. When we move and like buy a house, it's gonna be at least 5 bedrooms, 4 or 5, because I want my kids to have their own our room. I'd like us to each have our own offices, but one would be an office, one would be a guest room, and mine would be this room, and office and podcast. Like I'd have a permanent setup inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once
That's
we
a great
buy,
idea.
I think I'm gonna soundproof a room.
Yeah, I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna do the same thing
So
once
I
we
can
buy.
fuck with my bass in there too.
Guitar for me too. Yeah, 100%.
All right, my number 8. You're good. You're good with yours, Evan?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, number 8 is just gonna call Dathomir. I want to know the story of how the Night Sisters became practically extinct, and Merrin
Interesting.
was sitting left there. You
Grievous.
know, yeah, I want that.
Me too.
I want all of it. I want it more fleshed out. I want to see the role that Taron Malicos played, and all of that as
yeah.
well. So
Yeah, there's a lot there.
that's my fallen
forgot
order
about
reference. Yeah,
Malicos.
because he was kind of the one. He sat there, took over. He kind of charged the Night Brothers.
Yeah. Shoot.
He
I like his
did some
character.
yeah, he's a good ass character.
I
Like
like him.
he
The
fell
design's
from the
cool.
Jedi Council, but he fell a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, if
It's
his
interesting
sabers
take.
ever go to Docs,
Woo!
man.
I'm surprised that wasn't in one of the votes.
I know.
I really am.
It's in
He-
the Saber book, so it's like they
Yeah.
know how to make it.
Yep.
Yep. They
That's
only picked Luminara and Plo Koon because
they're
of that
the same.
duality. the
Yeah,
same.
you can paint one piece and use a
Yeah,
new saber.
That's the
Two
only
pieces.
reason those were the random ones we got. But
Yeah.
Malicos should have been before them. but
Agreed.
Whatever.
All
One
right,
day.
Where
What's
we
your
at?
7?
My number 7.
Rad.
This is again from watching Rogue One today, but I think it's
Yeah.
fitting. I think there's a lot you could tell. A Saw and Young Jyn Erso series.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
There's so much you can tell. I mean, she said they hadn't seen each other in like 15 years, but he raised her. Like, so
Mhm.
how old was she? She like 6, 7,
And
8.
She's like, you left me in a bunker or something with a blaster. And he's
Something-
like, it was to protect you.
But he said he raised her, so
Yeah.
they did a lot of shit going down. Like I was kind of expecting to see her in Fallen Order, but I don't know where that. I always have issues with Fallen Order is because I can't remember where it is in the timeline.
Well, it
5
sounds
years
like
after Episode 3.
Okay,
Survivors
Year
could be
bef-
right around Kenobi.
Survivor is exactly Kenobi.
exactly.
time.
Kenobi a year after Solo or a year before Solo. I forget which one. They mentioned that in a video I watched today. It's like right before or a year
I think it's
before.
a year
after
before because
Solo.
Maul is in Solo, and it's like
That's right. That's right.
So
that's
what
right,
is
that's
Maul
right.
doing right before Solo?
That's right. It's a year before Solo because
Yeah.
they brought that point up of like you could see him with Crimson Dawn and
yeah.
Fallen Order 2, which I don't really think you need to do. I think it'd be more interesting to see like a new Maul story where he kind of like dabbles of trying to go back to the dark, like full on Sith again. Like
This
he
is
wants to-
actually the only part of Maul's history we don't know is this shit with Crimson Dawn. So I
Yeah.
can totally see this is how they present it to us. And you know what? I'd be actually okay with it.
I'm okay with it.
I
It's,
really
it's
would.
just it's not the story I would pick.
No,
but
me
it'd be-
neither.
It'd be a cool one to see.
Me neither, but we do know the Grand Inquisitor is still heavily involved. So
He's working
Right.
with him, like he hires.
probably is, yeah.
But
him
also,
'cause
like-
he's too old or something at this point. I don't know.
The title
while
Survivor,
he's recovering from being stabbed by Obi-Wan Kenobi,
There
he
you
gets
go.
Maul involved.
There you
the
go.
title Survivor obviously applies to Cal,
Remember that
but
day.
it applies to Maul big time.
Yeah,
This man has survived a lot,
Yeah,
so it would be
100%.
fitting to see like Cal's version of Survivor versus Maul's version of Survivor, and I guess the Inquisitor too is a survivor of a lot of stuff. So it applies to most of these characters.
What if the Woo do a cover of Survivor and that's the theme song for
But it's like a grungy.
the Woo. I say the
darker
Woo.
one.
The Who.
The
Sorry,
Who, yeah.
The Who, not the Woo. Who
The
the fuck's
Woo.
the Woo?
I don't know.
Adam the Woo.
Woo. He's 48. I had no idea.
Yeah, I saw his video the other day.
I love that guy. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
All right, where we at? That was my 7.
Mhm.
Okay, my number 7. I haven't read it yet. Brad, you've started it, so maybe you can tell me. But I want like a Luke and Lando show. That is probably Shadow of the Sith.
That's this book from
So-
everything I've seen.
Okay.
It's
I
literally.
haven't read it yet, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but-
I'm a chapter in. I haven't started
Okay.
reading it really either, but it looks like it's. I mean, the first chapter is about Rey, young
Like
Rey,
Baby Ray. Yeah.
and
Sweet Baby Ray's
I don't know. I
barbecue.
can't spoil it because I don't know anything past that. It's literally
Okay.
her and her parents on a ship.
Okay.
But yeah, just like some Luke and Lando stuff. Maybe it's just like a little bit before this book of like, why did Luke and Lando choose to do this mission together? They seem like an unlikely duo in terms
Yeah.
of like searching for Force stuff. What's
Luke,
Lando
Wingman
got in
Walker.
this?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, Lando would just sell all the shit and he would make the money.
Right,
So it's like
but Luke
lucrative
has
for
to
him.
allow him to do that though, because like Luke's collecting it for his training.
Did they ever meet in the original trilogy? Lando
not until
and Luke.
not until not Tip Yip.
Yub
Yub
Nub.
Nub. I'm stupid. Wow. Chicken. I just said Tip Yip.
They
But
didn't
yeah,
meet
Yub Nub.
in Jabba's palace. They were there together.
Didn't meet. He was disguised.
He was disguised. And
Did
then
they
he
formulate
gets
this
Han.
plan together though?
What about all
I
the?
think they did.
Not in the
formulate-
movie, but off screen.
I think they
yeah.
absolutely off screen they did because Lando was part of it.
Yeah. At the end of Empire, Lando's in the Falcon talking to Luke. He's like, "We'll
Yeah.
meet back on Tatooine, kid, and do this and this." So we've never seen them in the movie on screen face to face, but it's implied they've met.
They've met.
Yeah.
They've met before that. They had to have. It's very heavily implied.
That's
Yeah.
something I never really thought about. Because
Same.
everyone always goes like, the original characters were together like the
Yeah.
one in the original. It's like they
It's like,
weren't
were they,
always
though?
together.
Yeah. But
I mean, like literally, they go separate ways in Empire for most of the movie.
Yeah,
Luke's
right.
on Dagobah for the
we kind of go to the
majority of the
Dagobah
movie.
system.
The only movie they're all together, the 3 is
A New Hope.
A New Hope for the
Right.
whole movie. I mean, even
Return
that.
of the Jedi, they separate because
Yeah,
Luke
yeah.
goes to Vader.
It's like
Yeah.
a Stranger Things season. Yeah, they're all over the place.
It's so great to see them when they get back together, especially Stranger
Yeah,
Things. Like
it is,
that
yeah.
season was so good. That's my
Yeah.
favorite season of the
Oh,
show.
by far.
By far, my
Easy.
favorite. My favorite. Did
Yeah.
you watch it yet? It's not scary. People were saying it's scary. I don't
Mm-mm.
get horror from it. I don't think you'd be scared of it.
I mean, some of
Right.
it's sure, but
Shocking, but it's not.
It's more sci-fi than
Yeah,
anything,
dude, I really think you would like Stranger Things. It's right up your alley. I really do. I really. I know Taylor likes it,
Yeah.
but here for somebody who's not your girlfriend, it's a good show.
Well, I mean, everyone says it's a good show, so it's not a matter of who says it. It's just don't have time. Don't
Well,
really care.
I know, but sometimes like Holly will be like, "You got to watch." it." I'm like, "There's someone else recommends." it." I'm like, "All right, we should watch it." I don't always trust her taste.
Would you watch
to be
a
fair,
Luke and
she's
Lando
dating
show?
me. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So her taste is suspect to begin with.
Got you. Hold up.
But I would just like to see why Luke and Lando chose to hang out. Like,
Yeah,
seems unlikely.
I'm here for
That'd
it.
be cool.
That's a good one. I want to see how this book pans out. 'Cause I don't think they've kind of said they're not going to adapt books, but maybe they should.
Well, then don't make them. Like, if you're not going to make them canon, then just fire your writers. I mean,
Save money if you do, so why not?
They make a lot of money on the books, man. There's a lot of hardcore book.
give it to
people.
your cast members.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Anywhere but
Bob Chapek's butthole just tightened up for no reason. He's
his
like,
beard. His beard
Spend
just
money.
grew 4 inches.
My ass.
Nachos?
Thank you, Bob.
All right, what's your number 7?
My number 7 is entitled The Singularity. It details the beginning of the universe we know as our Star Wars universe. How did the planets become? And how was the galaxy shaped? And how was the Force discovered?
Well, they've already answered this in the Cosmic Rewind pre-show.
This doesn't have anything to do
Also
with
known
that.
as just history of the Big Bang.
History of the Big Bang. I feel like that was their like attempt to make it. I think that was like their attempt to make it like old Epcot. Like,
Yeah,
we're going
it
to learn
was,
something here.
Because it was supposed to just be Big Bang the roller coaster.
Yeah.
But then they said, "Where's the IP?" and they slapped it on. But
Big Bang the coast. Oh, remind me that dead Kylo Ren over there. Reminds me to give you the Kylo Ren from inside.
the
Before
dead
you leave.
Kylo Ren.
He's like, look, he fell over. I don't know how or
oh,
why,
true.
but he fell over. But I like it.
You eventually learn that the singularity was not the singularity and there was time before. So you learn new things you don't know.
So there's a
That didn't
universe
come-
before the universe.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
freaks me out.
I know.
I don't like that thought. That scares me.
But they actually just came out and proved that last year, end of
What?
last year, that the singularity was not when time and space began. There was something before that.
Do they know what?
Not necessarily, no.
I
Is
feel
this
like
just hypothetical?
No. Like this is pretty well.
How can you
well
prove that?
received. I have no idea, but it's like every science.
Someone call Neil
article-
deGrasse Tyson. Get him on the phone.
No, screw that guy.
Well, the beginning of everything.
But anyway, yeah, no, seriously, the singularity is not the singularity.
That would make
Scares
sense
me.
because like time probably never had a starting point. Things
I've had
have always-
a lot of sleepless
time has
nights
always
thinking
existed.
about this
Like,
shit.
I do too, man. I
makes
think about
sense.
it a lot. Especially when I was a kid, I was looking at my space wallpaper, freaking out.
like this goes on forever.
I'm like, and then what would be here if we weren't? Like, how does any of this make sense? And
It's
so people had sex. Now I got to pay bills for the rest of my life. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
happens in the shower a lot.
Thank you for that.
Brad,
image.
what's your number 6?
The thinking
me
or the
gouging
thing
my
Brad said,
eyes out.
So
Mecca high, Mecca hiney ho.
Thank you, Jambi.
what's the magic word of the day or the word of the day from Pee Wee's
Yes.
Playhouse?
Word of the
What's
day.
that today?
Um,
The singularity. That should be the word of the day.
no, we got to come up with something better than the singularity. What'd be the word of the day, Brad?
Thunder cunt.
Okay.
My number.
Well, last episode he said the C word quite often, so that applies.
Did I?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep. That's why I started beeping you.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh wait. Oh, last episode meaning the one we just recorded. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking last week. Sorry. I was like, I did.
No.
I was chill last week. Number
Very.
6 is Tales from Luke's Temple. We don't even know the planet this is on.
That's true.
Kind of crossover with my
Agent
number
Colossus,
6,
maybe?
so.
It could be. I think that would make sense
Mhm.
because they go back there and
Yeah.
she's like,
We
you know,
see it in
raised.
Boba Fett, but what's it called?
Yeah, I don't know. They've never said. That's why I'm hoping like
Yeah,
they do a
I
book
wonder
of
why
Boba
they're leaving
Fett
it open,
art
yeah.
book. I would only buy it if that had that answer in
The
there.
Book of Boba Vark.
Yeah.
The book of-
Bobark.
but it would be cool to see this. Like again, it could be anthology, or you could have like an overarching story. But it could be each character that he's training. You know, there's a lot there. And
Ty
then
Verasi.
the end, everything goes to shit because the Knights of Ren show up and ruin everything. And
Yeah.
that
This
leads
is
you
exact
right into
crossover, basically.
Sweet. But yeah, I think it would be a no-brainer because
Yeah.
you bring in a legacy character too, and you can do the de-aging, or you can I would recast personally, so you're not having to spend all your budget on the CGI. Just get Sebastian Stan to grow his hair out a little bit.
They
We're
did.
good to go.
They did hire the YouTube guy, so they might as well
True.
get him to do something.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
on this, dude. YouTube guy. Evan, what's your number 6?
YouTube guy. It says it in the end of the show for Book of Boba Fett in the credits.
YouTube guy.
YouTube
YouTube
guy.
guy.
Luke Skywalker.
That YouTuber.
That YouTuber. So my number 6 is basically that. I mean, this wouldn't be the name because it sounds stupid, but I just wrote it as Ben to Ren. Just how Ben's there hanging out with Luke, training, and then the Knights of Ren
Ben
come in.
Duran.
Ben
and
Duran.
So we get how Ben goes to Kylo Ren. But don't title it that because that sounds awful.
Ben Solo, a Star Wars story. Or
We're
Ben
done.
a
We're
Solo.
done with this Star Wars. So
Solo. This how you do Solo 2.
it'd be Solo 2.5.
Solo 2. You just don't do Solo 2.
True,
This is
it's
your
just
Solo
not
2.
Han Solo 2.
He's a
It's
Solo.
Ben Solo. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Ben Solo, a Star
Too
Wars
fast,
story
too
too.
solo.
Hasn't been solo.
But yeah, same crossover.
I'm gonna
Just
kill
give
my
me a
father.
Training with Luke and how he
Gonna
becomes
get
Kylo. So yeah, number 6 for me.
Love it. Tom, number 6.
My number 6, I got to remember what I picked for number 6. I remember. It is called Nabiri.
Do you remember?
I do, and I have that drop, but my hand is holding the microphone. Thanks,
thought
Evan.
You would have clicked it if you
I
weren't.
would have.
Yep.
Nabiri, the story of Padme's legacy and how they became to royalty. Great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents settled and colonized Naboo. And that involves a war with the Gungans and their eventual treaty. But I want to see that.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's a good
Kind of
story.
maybe more of a story about Naboo. And I learned that Nabiri is actually Padme's real surname.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's in the
Queen's Legacy movie,
books.
yeah.
Very cool. And then you could you wouldn't have to, but you could mention the Palpatine family because he's also from Naboo.
Correct.
So you could,
Yeah,
if
you can
wanted
have
to,
run-ins with the Palpatines. Maybe they were nice back in the day.
You'd get those fans that are like, "Why does everything have to tie back to Palpatine?" But like, if it's
Yeah, that
cool,
could
it's
just
cool.
be like a crossover, but
Yeah.
I want to know more about Palps and
Yeah.
or not Palps, Padme and War with the Gungans. I want to see some dead Jar Jars. Brad, what's your number
I'm always
5?
down for some dead
Yeah.
Jar Jars.
What's number 5?
My number 5 is called Rebellion, and it is an animated series between 4 and 5, and everything is it's just the rebellion at that period.
The Rebellion only.
Rebellion only.
None
And-
of like the Luke, Han, and
Nope,
Leia stuff.
just the
Okay.
rebellion,
Good.
and it focuses on okay, we destroyed the Death Star. Now what? And it leads up to the Battle of Hoth.
Ooh, I like it. I always wanted to see that time period in like
It's
a video
interesting.
game, but
It's
I
interesting.
like it. Yeah.
A video game would work too. But
Yeah.
you know, this is the Disney
So do you
Plus
de-age?
You're right, yeah.
stuff. So
do you de-age John Ratzenberger and have him reprise his role as that random like lieutenant on Hoth?
I think you just make a young version of him and make him more
Yeah.
prominent.
It's got to
Yeah.
be John Ratzenberger. It's got to be.
Hey, I'm over here on Hoth.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to do that because then, like, I love when they do stuff like that. Like, they find an insignificant character, like when they kind of did this with Wilrow Hood, but just with the item he was carrying, he made the
I
Camtona
think
was
it's
like a
freaking
thing.
blowing up now.
It's weird.
Yeah,
and
it's in Mando, then it's
Mando.
in the queue for Rise of the Resistance,
Yep.
and now they sell them. Like, it's everywhere now.
I love the Camtona. It's one of my favorite things from of Star Wars. Like the fact that they just took this random dumb thing and made it a thing. I love shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, lightsabers are that. I mean,
Yeah.
they're made out of Rolls Royce
Garflex,
parts
yeah.
and the Garflex camera flash.
thing.
And Qui-Gon's
Thingamajig.
transmitter was a razor.
It was
Like,
razor.
that's one of the best
Like,
ones.
Hilarious. You know, I love shit like that when they can make something
Of course.
cool out of
Yeah.
trash,
Yeah,
essentially.
all that stuff ties into ILM.
It's a fucking ice cream maker.
but-
Yeah, it
yeah.
ties into ILM. But I mean, like,
But it
You
also
like
gives us
ice
hope as
cream?
like as like fans when we're making our like stupid Star Cruiser costumes. We're like, I'm gonna take this thing here and make it into this thing. All right, that works.
Yeah.
Like, it gives us hope.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
see you
cool.
calling them stupid in your Instagram posts.
Oh well, the Halcyon parts aren't stupid that they make, but the ones I do are stupid.
but yeah, I think a rebellion, and in particular in this part, would be the most interesting because literally, like,
Yeah.
just pick up from leaving the Battle of Yavin to like, now what? Okay, now we got to flee and trying to evade the Empire. I'm sorry, First Order, the Empire and stuff, and
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting.
There's some of that in Lost Stars. As I
Yeah.
keep going
Mhm.
back to that book, but like you could go way further,
Way
than
deeper,
that.
and
Like,
just focus on the rebellions fighting the Empire.
It could
Yeah.
start at the end of the ceremony that ends A New Hope, and they're like, now what the fuck do we do?
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like the war's not over. I mean, like
Yeah.
They
this
all
is
get
just-
really high on spice.
This is just started. There's so much shit you can do. I mean,
Yeah.
they could go back to Crate to try to get some supplies, and there's so much shit you can do.
yeah,
and
you
tie
could
in with all
definitely do
the
some
stories.
crate. Yeah.
yeah.
So there's so much there.
Evan,
Evan, number 5.
number 5.
Number 5. So we'll get to this culmination of 2 of my top 10s here.
5.
Yeah.
2 of them combine into something later, but my number 5 is Vi's story, which kind of will be before the Book of Phasma and before the book Black Spire, but it'll go through both of those books and end right when like Galaxy's Edge is. So like it's kind of weird to think of. Like, the story will end as if like you were going to the theme park the next day. So everything leads up to going to the theme park.
Love it.
So it's not just a retelling of
I'm
those 2
also
books because it's
Very
stuff
shocked you picked
before.
this.
Really?
No,
Really? You sure?
for sure.
Yeah.
Love
I'm
it,
not
though.
shocked
It's a
that
good
you're
idea.
not shocked.
It's a good idea. I think
So,
again,
yeah.
she's a smaller character. You could really make a big deal and
Yeah.
like have like how cool would it be if like
'Cause
we
she's
know
Leia's
Vi.
second in command.
Yeah,
Like, how
how'd
the
she
hell
get
does she
that?
get there?
It'd be interesting if she was like I think it'd be cool if she was like a First Order defected person. That's how she knew all the like. There's so much you could do with that.
Possibly.
So cool, and I think it'd be cool to have a character like that all Star Wars fans know, because I would venture even most hardcore people probably knows who she is, but they don't
Yeah.
know a lot about her. I mean, she's in the books, so people obviously know her, but you
Mhm.
could really get to know her and have like casual people know who she is.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. Good call.
I like it.
Tom, number 5.
Number 5, I call it the Aphex. It's a guild of seedy underbelly of the galaxy, so it's not bounty hunters. It's the people that they're normally hunting, like the Cleveland Browns mascot people that we saw on Book of Boba Fett.
That's what they look like. You're right.
So they're independent beings, like branched off from society, who've created their own secret network of survival, away from like taxes, away from regulation, away from law. They're essentially the Al Capone, of Star Wars. I want to see that shit. I want to see all these different species like come together and like Star Wars organized crime. Like how wild would that shit be?
That's kind of crossover on mine, but I
Okay.
took a different spin on it.
Okay.
I feel like that's what Boba Fett promised, but we didn't get.
It wasn't
So,
that. It
yeah.
wasn't. I mean, I'm sorry.
They
There
set
was
up some really
potential.
cool shit
Yeah,
there
it was
with like
They
promised,
did,
but we didn't
which I
get
think you
it.
could spin into this.
With-
you could
yeah.
take the
Who
Cleveland Browns
what was
guys.
the Athorian? What was his name?
Just the mayor. I
The
don't
mayor.
know his name, but
Like
yeah.
there
Oh.
was so much shit they could have done with that.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like
Yeah,
what?
and then he just gets
And then
killed
Mando
at the
shows
end.
up?
So
Okay.
it's like, all right.
You could showcase so many different types of alien characters who
Yeah.
are like these people.
Yeah, I like it. My number 4 is going to be a shock to absolutely nobody, but a pod racing animated series.
Heck yeah.
That, of course, is going to be on my list. But what got me wanting it to be animated was that stuff from the Visions.
Oh,
that
yeah,
art
yeah.
style works really well with pod
The
racing.
Bounty
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah, like that's super cool, and I think if you use that art style and kind of go back through the video games and pick those levels from the game, there's so much cool shit in that. Like Ando Prime, I know I've brought that planet up a few times, but there's a lot of cool destinations in that game, and I think
Yeah.
if you adapt that with like hand-drawn animation, would be really cool. There's never been a hand-drawn animated Star Wars project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be sick.
But yeah, of course that's gonna be on my
You
fucking
can
list.
just call it like the rise of Quadraneros. His rise to fame.
Quadraneros, a Star Wars story.
He rises to become
I was trying to think of
second to Sebulba.
I was trying to think of a cool name for it, but I couldn't think of anything. But
Pod racers. Racers. No.
I couldn't think of anything.
The circuit.
The circuit.
Just circuit. I don't know.
The circuit. I mean, if Skeleton Crew can be a name of something, we can call it
Yeah.
the circuit.
Yeah, circuit.
Circuit. I like
Because
that.
it's a racing circuit.
Bunta.
So
Bunta Eve.
You'd have to like name what. Like you'd have the thing I was thinking was like each episode would be a new race, and you'd have to and there would be a
I see.
storyline.
Okay.
And so whatever you call all of the races, like NASCAR, you know what I mean? Whatever you
IndyCar series, NASCAR series,
whatever the series, like the
Pod
like
Racer,
the
whatever it's
PGA
called.
Tour, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You have to
okay.
think of a name like that, and that's what I was trying
Yeah.
to think of, and I couldn't think of anything.
It's almost like Speed Racer, the old.
Yeah,
that's what it
exactly,
reminds me of.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like Speed Racer, like
Wacky races.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you and then like it all you're like rooting for certain characters, and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
he's in first now. Oh, his pod racing broke.
Make sure
He
in
had to
your
miss a race.
pajamas and eating cereal.
It could be so much
That'd be
fun.
fun, actually,
It could
yeah.
be really
That'd
really
be
fun.
really fun.
Evan, what's your number 4?
Number 4, give me a direct sequel to Force Collector. I want to follow Carr on what he does next.
Did you finish that book, Force
No,
Collector?
God, no. I didn't even start it.
Oh
Dude.
man, it's good.
It's in my top 5. It's so good. It's such a great book.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Fallen Order and a lot of Cal. Just
Okay.
not Jedi, because at the end of the book, like
That ending is fucking
that's all I'm gonna
crazy.
say. Like it's not like Fallen Order, but just give me
Okay.
like his story after that book.
That
Okay.
book is worth the ending, dude. Like
Yeah.
even if the book is fantastic, but that ending was just like
I own it, so
Yeah, it's
you need to dive into it.
I
man.
need
It's
to buy
really
it
good.
because I just read yours. I need to go buy one for
It's so
myself.
good, man.
Yeah.
It's such a good book.
It's worth just owning, just to own. But
so
just
great.
give me his story afterward and all of his adventures.
I'm
and-
still holding out for a 2, a sequel to Force Collector.
dude. He
book.
deserves it, and hopefully he gets it.
That
Has
book
he done
was
any other projects after?
not that I know of. I don't think he's
That's
done
wild.
anything.
He should have.
He was so great.
Because we've told you that he wrote episode 9 basically,
Mhm.
and they
Yep.
said you got to change his book. So like, if he's that good that he wrote a movie before it even came out, it's like maybe
Yeah.
you should give this guy more
Give him
stuff.
another chance.
Yeah, give him more stuff because
Give
he
him
was
a
good.
TV show.
yeah,
Yeah.
give him a show. I'd love to see him write a series of that because that character is like you can tell he cared about that character
Mhm.
a lot. It's
Yeah.
just such a good book. He pulled off high school in Star Wars and it didn't come off stupid.
With bullies and
Yeah.
lockers and everything, and
Yeah.
it
it
worked.
didn't come off
Yeah.
silly or contrived. It was really really good. It's in my top 5.
All right. Well, my number 4 is also in my top 5. I'm going to call it Lagarto. And hear me out. Lagarto is a species that we learn is Yoda species. So I've given him a name, Lagarto. So we're going to learn that their species was actually created by the wills of the light side of the Force. They were just kind of there. They were just the Force created them, just like created that individual. And not many exist. And they have like a different form of evolution. Like only a couple would exist at a time. So around the time Yoda dies, who's up and coming behind him? Grogu. You find out all about all that shit.
I really like the name Lagarto for
I
his
do too.
species.
That's a Star Wars name.
It's a lizard in Spanish.
Huh?
Oh.
What's frog in Spanish? Because I feel like Lagarto sounds.
Lagarto
probably better.
sounded better.
Yeah, that sounds
I think
better
I
than
looked up frog and I'm
whatever
like,
it is. Yeah, because they look more like frogs, but Lagarto sounds perfect.
Isn't that good for you?
It's a good name. Yeah, I like that name a
hell
lot.
yeah.
I like it a lot. I like that. That'd be cool. That's a
Yeah.
unique idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can set that in any time period.
You
can
absolutely
go High
could.
Republic. You can go Singularity style. You can
Mhm.
go any time period.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Brad, top 3.
My
Take
number,
us in.
my number 3. Hear me out. There's a little bit of explaining to do. But so you sit down and you have someone create episode 10. But you break it up into a series, and what you kind of do is you kind of retcon some shit that was squirrely and not retcon, but explain some stuff from Rise of Skywalker that didn't make any sense.
Build on it. Yeah.
Flashbacks and stuff. And this is the catalyst that leads us into 11, 12, and 13.
So you'd make 10 a series.
A series. Because I think it would
Interesting.
be interesting to see that level of production.
Episode 10, part 1.
Yeah.
I get it,
And
yeah.
you have just as a show. You just do it as a show. I'm not even saying like call it episode 10, but like
I
you
think
just
that'd
do
be cool.
you would just do what you would do in an episode 10 as a TV show, and then you can build off that. Because then you have enough time. Like I think that's one of the things that the sequels suffered with was they wanted to do so much and they didn't have enough time because it was 3 2-hour movies, 12 and a half movies. And you can take your time, you can explain everything, and you can set up this really cool world, and then do 10, 11, 12, and really nail that home.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like
Oscar Isaac just said he's coming back, so he's going to do that for
He's
you.
gonna do
He's
it.
gonna
I'm
be
here
in
for
your
it.
episode 10 series.
I love it. Evan, number 3.
Number 3, so this ties into my number 5 of like a Vi Marati story, but it's essentially what you already said with like the Batu shopkeepers and stuff. Just give me like a Zabaka 1 or 2 episode, a Oga 1 or 2 episode, a Doc 1 or 2 episode, and then it ends basically like with this Vi character sneaking around, and they're like, "What's the deal with her?" And then like the very next day, the First Order show up, and that's where it just ends.
Love it.
Because then it ends right when you walk into Galaxy's Edge. So It's just promotion for your land. It's going to sell merch, get people to come to the parks, but it's also going to be good storytelling and good world building and good connective tissue and all that good stuff. All those key phrases and what do they call those words?
Synergy
And all that Disney favorite words they love to use.
Magical,
Immersion.
synergistic, immersive,
Yeah.
unlike anything you've ever seen before. Most expensive.
Biggest single land expansion
Yeah,
ever.
that's what I was
all
trying
that
to go
good
for. Yeah.
stuff. So, just do that. Because it ends with Batu and Galaxy's Edge.
Do they have
happening.
shawarma carts?
3
fuck
shawarma
yeah.
carts.
Yeah. All right, Tom. Number 2 or 3. Sorry.
Number 3. I really shamelessly like taking things that I've created amongst several years ago, especially when the original intention for it was a heel backyard wrestling character by the name of Red Rapture. But I'm going to take this character, add a little Batman to it, and create a Star Wars story. So I just simply call it the Red Rapture. Individual born on the planet Proxima B, which I'm taking is a real planet that exists in our universe. I'm just going to shove it in the Star Wars universe.
Sounds Star Warsy.
Yeah,
It
because
does.
it's
Lady Proxima.
yeah, it's an Earth-like planet. It's a little bit bigger than ours, I think, but it could clearly support life, and it probably
Sweet.
does. The name, I forgot I gave him this name. Met Lika had a normal first 7 years of his life until the world crumbled before him, and he was forced to mature and grow up in a galaxy in peril. Based on his life experiences and ruptured relationship with his own mother, I wonder where he got this from. Met gained life experiences at a crucial time in his life that allowed him to see the galaxy that is truly filled with lying, deceit, corruption, and greed. From 12 to 18, Met trained his body and mind to handle the galaxy he was forced to live in and vowed, with no special force sensitivity, to cleanse the galaxy of the corrupt and don the title of Red Rapture. He'd go world to world, acting as a solo reign of terror in the shadows and in your face.
I got a better name for this.
Sure, go for it.
Oakery, a Star Wars story.
Yeah, there we go. That's exactly it, but we're calling it Red Rapture. That's who I am, motherfucker.
That's funny. I like that idea.
This
I
shows
mean-
you like how stupid I am. Is that why you have all the cool Red Fury merchandise? Because it's like Red Rapture, Red Fury.
I
Like the
have
shirt you're wearing is Red Fury. That's what.
Oh, sure, yeah, why not?
Okay. I didn't know, so maybe I'm not just dumb, but I just
No,
put that together.
Red Rapture is my like wrestling character. I've wrestled independent
Right.
shows like that, and I've done backyard wrestling on MTV. Yeah, it's out there. Just go look for it.
That's
cool.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Oakery, Star Wars story.
Oakery's
yeah,
Star
yeah.
Wars
We call it that. I don't care.
Did his mom beat him on Kijimi?
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
They
he's
moved
from
from
Proxima B. Yeah,
Okay,
this
okay.
is the multiverse in Star Wars.
Oh, well, I'm out.
Yep.
I'm
I
out, too.
thought so. No, I said it to piss
I
him
know,
off.
I know. But I'm with you.
I don't want a multiverse.
And we're
That
gonna
was-
time
They,
travel
they
back.
hinted at it in the fucking of
Where?
all the places, the Canto Bite fucking novel that they did the lead up to the
Okay,
Last
so
Jedi.
that's not canon. So
They brought up these two characters that claim they're from an alternate universe, and they're like this. And I think it was like I don't remember because I blocked that book out,
As
but
you
I feel
should.
like they didn't dispute it. They're
Brad,
like,
what's your
yeah,
number
they're-
2,
They're
please?
from
Please get
an
off this.
alternate universe, and it was
Let's not let people
horrible.
remind us.
I don't
'cause
condone
fucking
burning books,
horrible.
but let's burn
burn
this
that
book.
one. That
Yeah.
book's fucking terrible. I don't know who wrote that,
There-
but
no.
it's absolutely fucking deplorable.
Yep.
My number.
Okay? Just remember, it's not a lie if you believe it.
My number 2 is we talked about before on your list, the High Republic animated series.
Animated, nice.
Yeah, I want it animated.
That'd be good, actually.
I think it would be
the
good.
good
colors
transition
and the
from the
beautiful
novel.
colors would
Yes,
look good.
yes, yes,
I think it would be really cool, and just give the more casual people a look into the High Republic. That's what I would do with this. You could retell whatever fucking story you want. You could do the disaster. What's it called? The
Great Disaster.
Hyperspace Disaster.
The Great Disaster.
Yeah, Great Disaster.
And retell that story if you want. But I think it's absolutely should be animated, and I think it would fucking crush.
Yeah.
And I think it would get people into the books because
You
like,
can
hey,
bring-
all this other cool shit's here. If you like this,
Yep.
I mean, I know Star Wars does that too, but like this would be more specific because it's only in the books right now.
You can bring the Halcyon into it because
Sure
the
could.
Halcyon pulled
They towed it.
the beacon, Starlight Beacon. So
yeah.
yeah,
Evan, number 2.
which ties into my number 2. Number 2 is 2 Halcyon characters. I want a story of how Wraith and Gaia met. I want them touring the galaxy together and getting into shenanigans and escapades.
Shenanigans. What kind of shenanigans?
Oh, well, the Wraith kind of shenanigans.
Ooh.
I didn't say what this series is rated. I can
That's all
see
we
him
can
loving
afford
that
here at
song.
Jedi Talk.
That's Wraith's kind of music right there. That's why we love him.
That's true.
So, and it can end right up until they get the Halcyon gig booked. And it's
Love
like,
it.
what's got to happen next? They're going on this journey to this crazy Star Cruiser.
Love it. Tom, number 2.
My number 2 is entitled Danube's Revenge. hear me out. I've created a new race in Star Wars because they do it. So, when Black Spire Outpost was founded, the founders drove out an uncivilized species called the Danube. They stood 8 feet tall, wide shoulders, clunky legs, but their emotional intelligence was behind the times, so they were forced to live amongst the spires. But evolution over the several years after this was founded forced them to evolve to Viking-like creatures, and they're coming for revenge on the people of Black Spire.
What time
Nice.
period is
That
this
sounds
set
good.
in?
They eventually catch up to the sequel trilogy, so where it is right now.
Cool.
Oh
So
man!
they're
So,
coming
they can
after
even
Black
bring
Spire.
them into
They
the park
absolutely
if they
can.
ever wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
Interesting.
sick.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and that could even be like scary. That'd be like
Batu,
horror.
the people on Batu, the cast members on Batu could be like, now don't go off into the spires.
Yeah,
The Danube are out
people
there.
never come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like my friend, whatever, went out there last week and we
Exactly.
haven't seen
Never
him
came
since. That'd be perfect for cast members to just talk about too
I
amongst
know.
the guests.
I know.
Yeah, dude.
Breaking news,
Love it.
fellas. Breaking news. Stitch's Great Escape queue reopens for Mr. Toad Wild Ride Monsters Inc. photo op during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Oh, wow.
I'll be there.
Me too.
I've never
Now,
been
here's the thing.
inside that building. So
Really?
yeah, I never did Alien
Or
or
Stitch?
Stitch. Yeah.
No?
Yep.
Oh, Stitch was phenomenal.
I
mean, not as good as the predecessor, but I liked it.
I didn't like it.
I've never heard anybody say that.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like. I didn't.
I
like
don't
the
mean
show.
you're not wrong because I never experienced it, so I have no opinion.
I have a special place in my heart for Alien Encounter the way you do for Timekeeper.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ever comparing them. I just think the show was kind of fucking weird.
All right.
Like it didn't fit Stitch to me. Like
Alright.
it didn't seem like. It seemed like they just repurposed the show and threw Stitch in there, which is
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
what they did.
That's what they
but
did, yeah.
I'm the chili dog thing always grossed me out. Like I don't.
Just like the fart on Figment.
I like the
Oh,
fart
the
on
skunk.
Figment.
I hate that skunk thing on
It's just
Figment.
burnt coffee, dude.
And I don't like coffee.
Yeah, that's all
so
it
that's-
Do you like coffee at all?
No,
I didn't used to.
never
I,
drank
I think
coffee a day
when
in
you
my
get
life.
older, you just start drinking coffee one day and it sticks with you.
That means I'm not old yet.
I did
Yes.
just
Yeah,
order
you're not old yet.
cafe latte protein powder. So
Nice.
I just started drinking coffee this past year.
Oh,
Like,
so you're, all right, I'm almost there.
turned 33, started drinking coffee.
All right, hopefully I don't.
That's awesome.
How old are
though.
you, Evan?
29.
30 in February.
Yeah.
It's coming.
We're gonna get you. I'm gonna get you a French press machine for your birthday.
What's your number one, Brad?
My number one is similar to what you talked about before with the bounty hunter stuff in Star
Okay.
Wars, but
Mhm.
I want a Star Wars underworld focusing on crime and gangsters. I basically want it to be the Breaking Bad of Star Wars.
Oh, nice.
That's
Like a spice lab.
Yeah, that's the route I took on that. I was like, just give me an interesting character who you root for and against at the same time, and just want to see how that pans out. And I also put in my notes here, small. It could do small stories or you could do big stories, and it would kind of do what Book of Boba Fett said they were going to do and then didn't do, which we talked about before. I just thought it was funny that we both had that same conclusion when you were talking about that. And I had that in my notes earlier.
That'd be good.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, the Underworld was the original show that they were doing on ABC, and the budget just got too high. Have you ever seen the tests for those?
Yeah.
They were weird. It didn't really
13, right?
No, that was the
13,
video game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm thinking of.
This took place on Coruscant. The
Oh.
original like pilot that never aired got leaked not
Hmm.
too long ago, and it's on YouTube somewhere. You can still find it.
Oh, I need to see it.
It's very odd.
What's it called?
I don't remember.
That's my
just type in
homework.
like canceled Star Wars TV show,
Okay.
and you'll see it.
Okay.
The thumbnail I believe has like 2 stormtroopers, and it kind of looks stretched out and kind of
Okay.
shitty because it was leaked, but it was it's interesting.
Okay.
Evan, number 1.
Number one, I was making fun of the blank of Star Wars stories, but it fits this here. Croy, a Star Wars story.
Nice.
Give me his rise of power.
I like that.
From
do I.
Coruscant.
I love it, yeah.
From his youth on Coruscant all the way up through the ranks, and how he's working up, and how he's like just obsessed with impressing Kylo Ren and like the Supreme Leader, all this stuff. He wants to
General
like,
Talus.
yeah, and Talos. He wants to please them and show them how awesome he is at all costs, and that's all he cares about, and just leads all the way up his whole life until he's assigned this Galactic Star Cruiser assignment to go check out the Halcyon.
Love it.
And that's where it ends.
Tom, what did you come up with for number 1?
I came up with, I'm calling it Elemental Armageddon. So this is my post-Episode 9 story. Rey is working in tandem with Finn to train new young Jedi by a new Jedi code that Rey has, with Finn's help, has kind of just put together. Like, took the good things of the old and redefined it. Wow, that sucks. And she teaches him the light side, but the dark side just as much, so they kind of know. A new, never-before-seen darkness emerges that had just been building up over time. It's the dark side, but on steroids, like Thanos-level dark character, who is untamed in their power because they were necessarily never taught. But because of observation of general life throughout their formative years, it was determined that life had its chance, kind of like your typical villain story, like it's going to end, blah, blah, blah. But it had always existed before the Skywalker saga and emerged in a physical state past Episode 9. I'm calling him Scalar. And his purpose is to deflate the known universe. So I'm getting all scientific here and nerdy, but there's a theory of the universe where it's inflated and it's going to start deflating. That's how the universe is going to end several billion years from now. So this dark entity, Scalar, is essentially going to tap into the dark side of the Force to try to shrink the universe, because he'll survive, but he's trying to just kill everybody else. Restart it on his own, become a new god. But Rey stops him, taps into the dark side. But now, the episodes after that are going to be everybody trying to save Rey from the dark side.
Interesting. I like that.
Yeah, we should have got more Rey kind of using the dark side. So
Oh, yeah.
that
I mean,
fits
Luke
perfect.
blatantly says it in Last Jedi, and
You
it's
went
never
straight
brought
to
up
the dark.
again. It's
Exactly.
Like, what? How?
Went
Why?
straight to the dark.
Well, we
Yeah.
know why, because she's a Palpatine.
Right, exactly.
But that's not enough. Like, that was so
And
cool.
then
That's like
seeing
one of the
a
best scenes of Last Jedi.
Well, not even 5. Seeing a 2-minute vision in Episode 9. It's like, that was cool, but like we should have saw more of her being dark.
Also, should have explained why she saw that. I mean, we know she's a Palpatine, so she would have like that history there because her grandfather was there. But why did she have that vision?
Why does Luke have it on Dagobah?
It's part of his training.
Exactly. That's just
Yeah,
part of
but-
her training.
Kinda.
It's not an
You don't
official
see it enough
master
the same
there
way.
saying this is your training.
Yeah,
It's your training.
Is that how you took it? That it's part of her training? I never really thought about it.
That's what they do with
I
Anakin.
really didn't think about it.
Anakin or Obi-Wan goes to the council and he's like, look, he hasn't had his official trials, but this one battle proved it, this one battle proved it. Those are his trials. That's
Okay.
his training.
Yeah.
So it's the same idea. Like, it doesn't have to
That's
be
it, yeah,
your
it doesn't have to be,
master's
like,
there
official,
taking notes
especially.
on your training.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Good list, fellas. That was fun. How long was that?
1 hour, 1.5 minutes.
Dang, we
Perfect.
are good.
Crushed it today. Thank you, everyone, for listening to that. If you want to know more about the giveaway, listen to last week's episode, because I
Again.
forgot to bring it up.
Google
At the
review.
beginning.
Be
Yeah.
funny.
Google review. Send it to us on Instagram.
Get
Be
figures.
funny. First two people get figures, mugs, and some Jedi Talk stickers. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the show. We will see you next week. Until then, stay safe, and may the Force be with you.
Always. And good journey.
Rise, Jedi Knight. Are we ready to go?
We'll decide when we're ready to go. We're ready to go.